I'm extremely pleased to be here this morning for the job fair. This is a collaboration between the NEST, the National Employment Service Center, and SHTA. I came earlier. I came at the opening at 9 a.m. and there were people lined up all the way out to the street. And I went to my office and I came back again at 11, and I must say that the lines continue. This shows that there are the people who are out there looking for jobs. They're not all unemployed people. Some people have jobs already, but they're taking the opportunity to come out here to see the 700 plus jobs that are available on St. Martin and to get their chance to either enter the job market or to maybe get a better job. We are hiring on the spot. So I really invite everyone to come out, and I hope that people already came out. Come to the job fair because they're hiring on the spot. The jobs they exist. They want you to come to work. So it's really a success. I thank the organization so much. I thank the Department of Labor for organizing this, for the NEST for organizing this, and I really think that it's a success. This is what we need in St. Martin.
Hi, my name is Peggy Andros. I am the Division Head of Labor Affairs and Social Services, and we are currently at the National Job Fair 2024, hosted by the Division, but specifically hosted by the NEST, the National Employment Service Center. I want to first and foremost thank the team for all the hard work, the business service officers, Mr. Linroy Ray and Marquido Fevre, who specifically went out and got all these businesses to come. We were originally registering at 745 jobs. I understood that the businesses on the spot are adding vacancies, and we're close to 900 jobs right now. So it's very, very hectic. We have a lot of people here. The collaboration is with SHTA. We want to specifically thank them as well for collaborating with us. We have all sorts of industries represented here, not only the hospitality industry, but also the utility, the energy industry, the medical, public health industry, the merchants industries, various industries, the Phillipsburg pharmacies here, White and Yellow Cross, all of the resorts are represented here as well. We have Real Auto, we have Motor World, we have the security companies, we have BIP here, the Bureau for Intellectual Properties. It's a lot. We want to thank the job seekers for their patience. We would also like to give a big shout out to Mr. Rude Fleming for the facilities as well for Ali's Convention Center. And we thank you all for assisting us and the business community and our partners for this collaboration. We wish everybody success, and more success.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Linroy Ray from the National Employment Services Center. I'm one of the business services officers here for the division. We're here right now at the National Job Fair, the second annual National Job Fair. For this job fair this year, we approached about 60 companies, and we have about 42 or 43 companies participating in the job fair this year with over 750 vacancies and counting, because we have companies that have vacancies that are opening today and they're adding it to the list. So it's been going really good right now. We have it ranged from the entry level to mid level to high level. And for people who cannot make it here, we're closing at 4 o'clock. For people who cannot make it here, you can check us at National Employment Services Center on Facebook or NESC SXM on Instagram.
Hi, I'm Lusaita Pemberton from SHTA. Today we are here at the NEST Job Fair, and we are proud to collaborate with them. Right now, it's a full turnout in here, and we love to see this. And we are grateful that a lot of our members have also joined on this wonderful occasion. And for any more information that you may need, feel free to send us an email at info@shta.com. It will point you in the right direction.
One follow-up question. Could you tell what the interest is on the 42 million loan that you negotiated? And my question is, the far-right government in the Netherlands has announced cuts in the funding for St. Martin, like, for instance, for the Coast Guard, millions less. On the other hand, seeing the port strikes in the United States, that will likely drive up food prices, and St. Martin losing its hub role for food imports will likely drive prices in the supermarkets. and there's still the GB bills that people have to pay. What are the plans of the government, seeing the cuts and the higher prices, to make the cost of living affordable on the island, or at least prevent that that the cost of living rises?
There are two questions in one. The first one is the extreme right government, you told me, and the impact of border control, Coast Guard, that's one. Okay. And then the second one was the pricing, of which I will leave for the Minister of Tiet. The first one, there is a perception and a reality that we have a right-oriented government in the Netherlands. That does not mean that a right-oriented government cannot actually please the wishes of the countries in the kingdom. And I'm going to, for example, tell you, I had a meeting with 2 representatives of this new government, actually 4. I had a meeting with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Mr. Schoof. I had a meeting with the State Secretary, Mr. Zalt Sabo. I had a meeting with Mrs. Klever from Trade, and I had a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Veldkamp. Although the perception outside there is that perhaps maybe it's going to be difficult, my personal feeling and opinion after sitting with these persons, they were very realistic in approach towards the topics that I have discussed with them. For example, your concern about border control. It's most of the time not the vision of the government of the Netherlands that determines the future of your country. It's the vision of your government of your country that determines the vision and future of your country. What I want to say with that is there is a big concern for border control for the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The State Secretary of Defense recently, before I left, visited me in my office, and he told me a concern of the Netherlands is border control for the kingdom. If you look good and critical to the budget of the kingdom, you see that there is an increase in the amount that is going to be distributed for consumption and use to organize border control for the kingdom. So if you read that good and you have the Secretary General of Defense telling you that border control is a problem, that you see that the Prime Minister is talking about border control, my task is to tell them border control is indeed a problem for the kingdom. But the kingdom is not the Netherlands. The kingdom are the countries, overseas territories also belonging to the kingdom. So I accentuated to him that I would like to maintain the same formula that they use in the Netherlands for enforcing of border control. I want that same inclusive, uniform approach for the border control for the overseas territories of the kingdom. We have to realize that I cannot assume the responsibility for border control for St. Martin while I'm part of the concept of the kingdom and there is a formula for border control for the kingdom. So either I'm going to step back and hear that they have some challenges with the border control, or I'm going to step up the plate and tell them, I realize that too. I cannot guarantee border control for the kingdom, but I can contribute my share part by doing what I have to do with a general formula of border control for the kingdom. But that means that the finance have to come from the same resources as those for the Netherlands. And they understood that very good. And I think that's the way you have to do it. You had some issues about the prices, and we have here the Minister of Economy sitting next to me. Maybe she can give some answer to that. Pardon? Pardon? Yes. Yes. The minister is telling me that I skipped an answer for you. The interest on the loan. I approached Mr. Sabot during the hype of the energy crisis and told him I have a big challenge in my country with energy. And I told him the only way I'm going to get out of this is to purchase and have a financing for the purchasing of the 3 big generators next to the ones that we do on our own force. But we do not have the finance to purchase. Let's say if each generator costs 14 million, we do not have 42 million to purchase them. In 24 hours, he sent me a letter and he confirmed to me that he is okay with my proposal. We have to sit and discuss the terms for the loan. I could not sit and negotiate the terms of the loan and agree with him because my amended budget was not approved in Parliament, so I cannot entertain him with the details of the loan, not knowing if my amended budget, in which this budget amount of 42 million was placed, will be approved by. But now that it's going to be, hopefully, the moment it's signed, I have my letter ready to tell him, let's go and sit now and negotiate the terms for this loan. That is the way you have to do it. You cannot sit and entertain, not even realizing if it's going to be approved and if you have the political will to support your vision for financing of the purchasing of the containers, of the generators.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah, your social health insurances.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
GB in its public session guaranteed that the increased costs related to the rental of the generators and the higher cost for the diesel fuel would not be passed on to consumers. You've confirmed that in your meeting in Parliament. So my question to you is, it's very likely that it will take a minimum of 2 years before the new generators are ordered and in place, so that this situation may last for 2 years. Given that this might create a financial hardship for GB, how will you ensure that the commitment is honored without bankrupting GB?
By giving the people of St. Martin by day one the trust of a government. They have to trust their government. The problem is that I have said it many times already, that GB is going to absorb the costs. Okay. So actually we should be happy, right? And now that we are going to tell the people that GB is going to absorb the cost, now we're going to question that. Is it so that? But I'm asking myself in this community, what do we want now? We want some relief for the people. The government is putting GB under pressure, although the financial challenges of the company, and we are doing what we have to do for the clients not to suffer. And now we are at that stage, and now we're going to ask ourselves, but how serious is this commitment now? So imagine if we don't do it, that means that electricity is going to become more expensive, and that would not even be good for the people of St. Martin. So at a certain moment, if we go to the right, it's wrong. If we go to the left, it's wrong. But in this case, we chose for the people, realizing the challenges that they're going through in this community, worldwide actually, but in St. Martin specifically. And we decided that GB will have to cover for the costs of this in-between solution that we're in to solve actually definitively the issues of the energy crisis for country St. Martin. I have sat with the GB Supervisory Board and management. I told them that we as government are having our serious concerns about the pricing and the getting more expensive of energy due to the measures that we had to take by purchasing containers, using diesel that is quite expensive, etc. We got a commitment from them that we are going to absorb the cost through GB. And if that is the case, let's as a people be grateful and happy that that is happening. And let's trust on the fact that the decision has remained calculated on the financial position of GB, that they can carry this for the coming 2 years.
One of the ways in which people can trust the government is when government honors its promises made, including those made during the campaign period. One of the things that you did say a few days or weeks before the election is that you were looking into providing relief to consumers related to the whole GEBE saga. I noted that you also mentioned this in Parliament, so I would like to know if you can give us an indication as to how soon a decision can be made as to what form of relief the people will be getting. Also, Prime Minister, you visited the St. Martin Medical Center recently, and you issued
Judy, unfortunately, that was your one question for this round, and I will allow Prime Minister to answer that. Prime Minister.
Judith, your question was the relief for the people of St. Martin, right? The fact that that GB is going to absorb the costs, is that not a great achievement for the people? I think that's a great one for the people, that we are under not ideal circumstances, dealing with a crisis of energy. And I think the fact that I negotiated with GB, that we took the decision that we are not going to increase the costs by absorbing the costs, although taking measures to control a little the national crisis for the country. I think that is a great achievement for relief for the people, because we could have shifted it to the people too, we didn't. So we are realizing that that is, for example, already a relief for the people. And you have to understand that we are governing this country under very critical and crucial moments, partially national issues that we have, but also under international tension of less prosperity for all countries. I have been in a United Nations. If you follow the cry of the SIDS countries, small development states, you realize that they are coping with enormous problems, that even my country that has its problems, if I listen to others, what for challenges that they are encountering, I choose for my own problems when I come home back, although I have very serious problems. So what St. Martin is experiencing is not only an isolated challenge in the world, it's a shared problem that we all are suffering from in this country. And we just have to commit as governments on local level to make sure that we control our expenses and make sure that we take wise decisions for the future and for the sustainability of our nation, realizing that we have a small amount of people that has to pay for everything in this country for us to survive surrounded by the sea. Yes?
So just to be clear, the absorbing of the cost, that is the relief.
It's going to be dealt with GEBE. So the people of St. Martin are not going to be shareholders or responsible for extra payment for the extra costs for the intervention that we're doing now by purchasing new containers, renting them, buying them, using more expensive fuel for the coming 2 years as has been done, because until we have the big generators installed, it's going to be 2 years from now. You have to realize it too. And that is not because it's St. Martin is going to take 2 years. The procurement, the whole process is going to take 2 years before these 3 big units are completely commissioned and operational. So it's going to take us 2 years, and that's why Mr. Lee was a little concerned. What I understand from can GB carry this for 2 years? And the answer is GB must carry this for the coming 2 years.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurance.
Family of Patrick Perry, the man who died after being severely beaten at the Buff Bay Police lockup in Portland, is this evening demanding answers. They say they've yet to receive information on the circumstances which led to his death. Anthony Lugg reports.
A community in mourning.
And look how them beat him boy in a Buff Bay jail. So nothing now come out of here. All the people that were beat him, nothing now go come out of here. We want justice, Patrick can't dead so.
These residents are boiling with anger over the circumstances which led to the death of their colleague Patrick Perry. Mr. Perry died after he was beaten while in police custody at the Buff Bay Police Station. TVJ News understands that he was severely injured and was taken to the Onoto Bay Hospital, but was later transported to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Family members are incensed.
This cannot go unpunished. Somebody has to be held responsible for my nephew's death, because you can't tell me that you have arrested somebody and you arrest him Friday night, Saturday morning him injure and him go to hospital, and from one hospital to the next hospital, and nobody can tell you. Nobody don't get no lock up feet. Nobody no say inmate beat him. Nobody not say him in an altercation with police. Nobody not say anything.
The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, has since launched a probe into the incident. It remains unclear how long the investigation will last. Commissioner Hugh Faulkner spoke with our news center.
In matters regarding the death of persons in custody of the state, the INDICOM team interviews law enforcement personnel in addition to persons in custody, canvass for CCTV, or any digital footage collect any forensic material available, attend the postmortem examination, and utilize material from the postmortem report to help inform its findings.
Back in the Long Bay community where Mr. Perry resided, residents are furious because they say he was remanded after it was reported he issued a threat following a dispute over family property.
Just come dead in a jail, all because I see him property where him not for that. No time him name for that courthouse seat because I feel him thing.
We want justice because in wicked, the whole district are mourn.
Right.
The whole district are mourn. If you go down the road and ask, I see anything them I go tell you. You don't have nothing bad to say about Patrick.
As the community mourns Mr. Perry's death, the family insists they'll not let up until justice is served.
It not end so. It cannot end so. Somebody has to be held responsible. This is wickedness and something needs to be done.
Anthony Lug, TVJ News.